Hi everybody, it's August 20th, 2024. I'm just waiting for some of these cars to go by. It's kind of noisy. I'm on the grounds of the former Norwich Hospital. And I'm walking down the road. I just got off Route 12. And I'm walking down the road that I used to drive into to go to work, which was in the Kettle building, Kettle South 6 to be exact. Actually, when I first started there as a pre-trainee, it was Kettle South 5. And I'm going to do a little tour of the grounds. I'm going to do this once a year just to see the grounds, how they're holding up, what's happening, and how things look. I'm going to hold the camera up and point it directly towards where the Kettle building used to be. Obviously, it's not there. It's been demolished, basically eradicated from the planet, which is in some ways heartbreaking to a lot of people. I'm just going to point this camera over. There's a bunch of Canadian geese in the field over there. I don't know if you can see them. There used to be gardens here just before the hospital closed. Patients would come out and plant vegetables and flowers, whatever they planted. This road here leads to a private residence as far as I know. Never been down there. You can see these beautiful trees. Things are all overgrown. When the building was knocked down a few years ago, they just they leveled it, walked away, and this is the result. I mean, it doesn't take long for shrubs and weeds and grasses and just botanical plants to be popping up out of the ground. The road is in not horrendous condition. I mean, it hasn't been touched in many years, so I mean, whoever put this road in originally obviously did a good job considering it's had zero maintenance. I'm going to try to do a sweep of the entire grounds today. I mean, I can't, legally I can't trespass and go to certain areas where deep into the grounds. It's just all fenced off, no trespassing signs everywhere. Okay, let's see. This road, I mean, there's a fence here, but this road right here, now that's in really bad shape. Kettle would be on your right there. And this road here, you would drive, if I drove straight and took a left, I would hit Ribicoff building, and if I went straight to the end of the road, took a left, I'd hit Lodge building. There's like some kind of a pavilion, or they used to have barbecues, and you hold the camera over the fence here. See that overgrown? It's all overgrown. I mean, it's just all falling apart. But that's a picnic area, a little, I don't know if it's technically a gazebo, but it's a covered area where guys would, the patients would go out there and have picnics and parties. And let's get another look at it from this angle. Right there, there's actually a picnic table right under that thing. I mean, when they walked away from this place, they just dropped everything and walked away. Let me go to the end of this. All right, this is interesting. If I point this camera straight ahead, right there, I'd be behind Ribicoff, and beyond that would be Lodge. There's nothing there. I mean, it's just, again, erased from the planet, completely and utterly vaporized before our very eyes. I mean, there is tons of property out here. Look at this. Let me do a little sweep. This is just, whoa, get a load of that. I mean, that's a lot of land. That is a ton of acreage. Technically, like I said, I'm in Preston right now. I mean, it's called Norwich Hospital. Part of the grounds is on, in the city of Norwich, or the town of Norwich. Straight ahead, more hospital property. It leads down to the Thames River if I kept walking straight. If I don't know, it's way in the distance. Hopefully you guys can see this. That's the Mohegan Sun Casino over there on this cloudy, overcast, very breezy day. The Mohegan Pequot Bridge is over there, way in the distance. All right, let's work our way back. Somebody mows this thing. I mean, it's been mowed recently. At least the ground I'm walking on right now. It's about 72 degrees today. Very comfortable. No humidity. All right, let's get back. There's some lighting. You can see the old lighting from the, back in the Kettle days. All right, let's go right down the dead center of this street that a lot of you folks watching this video right now drove down many, many times when you worked here. I remember Canadian geese being all over the place back when I worked here, and it's still, like I said earlier, there's a big flock of them over there. As I head towards Route 12, walking dead smack down the center of this road that is no longer used by anybody. What they're going to do with this property, I have no idea. I've read different proposals over the years that they're going to do this and going to do that, but thus far, absolutely nothing has taken place except for demolition. All right, I'm walking in front of what would be Kettle. Let's get some different views here. Yeah, I see lines. I mean, it's brutally overgrown with weeds and everything. You can see that. That's parking. I remember parking here. Actually, I used to park on the other side most of the time if I could. There was always plenty of parking. Whoever designed that hospital back in the day did it right. I mean, I'm walking through some pretty tall, right now, unmowed, I guess you'd call it grass, weeds, overgrowth, whatever. There's some trucks, Lucas Tree Experts. I'm assuming, you know, company that removes trees. So they probably have some job around here. Whoa, this grass is like 3 or 4 feet high. All right, now we're dead center where Kettle used to be. I hold this thing up over this fence. Man, this wind is brutal. Okay, right there. Dead smack straight ahead would be the entrance to the Kettle building. I'll pan slightly to the right with this camera, and you would see Lodge behind it to the right. But there it is. And I'm kind of in an exclusive little parking area right now. If you were real lucky, you could park here. I mean, that was like premium doctors or whatever. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see those white lines, the parking. All right, there's Route 12. Probably familiar. A lot of people. Let's get a wide shot. That's Route 12 heading towards Groton. If you kept going straight, you'd go through Ledyard and eventually end up in Groton. And if you went in that direction, you would be going towards Norwich. Folks, I hope the audio is okay with this thing, because the wind is fairly intense right now. That can sometimes mess up the audio, but I'm doing the best I can. I mean, I don't have a Hollywood crew out here with me, but I'm basically a one-man band recording audio, video, and everything, so we're just gonna have to keep our fingers crossed and hope this audio comes out all right. All right, more parking. This would be the north side of Kettle if it was still here. Yeah, this is, let me get over this fence right here. That's, you know, Kettle North 5, North 6, North 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I believe the kitchen, if I'm not mistaken, let me think. Yeah, the kitchen was kind of in the center. More parking. I'm walking, okay, I used to park here. I worked on South 6, but I parked over here all the time, like right there. You can see that. I mean, it's way overgrown and messed up and basically totally shot, but here's what used to be. I mean, it's a sidewalk right there. You can see that, but I mean, it goes to nowhere. There's an old light over there, light fixture. I mean, there's weeds growing up. Lamp posts, and what is this thing? I don't know, there's some printer, whatever, it's not worth filming. Somebody took an old printer and just threw it out of their vehicle or something, and it's all smashed to pieces. All right, let me take a left. Yeah, this is another parking area. Like I said, when these guys built it, you know, the architects, the engineers, the planners back in the day, probably late 50s or early 60s, whenever it was. Look at this parking, tons of parking for Kettle, which would be directly in front of us. The side would be I would be on the north side, pointing directly towards Kettle. I mean, this is wild. I mean, I'll go up and let's document this for historic preservation purposes. You know, some guy 200 years in the future might want to look at what used to be the side of the Kettle building, Ronald H. Kettle building. And we are walking directly towards what used to be the Lodge building. I worked Lodge West 1 for many years. Fabulous place to work, great people. Every single one of them. All right, let's hold this camera over this fence again. Right there, now it's just, that used to be a big mound of dirt. There's a little mound back there, but it used to be like a mountain of I don't know, gravel, topsoil, whatever it was. Now it's leveled off. So that changed since the last time I did a video up here. I mean, it's also way overgrown. I mean, it's all fenced off, but it's like, you know, there's nothing there to do. I mean, you could just, there's nothing but a bunch of weeds and overgrowth. All right, this gives us a good, this building on the right there, let me frame this thing up. That was like some kind of central air conditioning main headquarters for when the superintendent and the state of Connecticut and whoever was responsible for putting in central air conditioning to the buildings. So that's one of the last newer structures on the grounds. All right, there's a big fence here that's to the right would be, there's nothing there, but there's some, see those pine trees? Behind that would be Seymour Building. There's other buildings, I mean, there's nothing there now, but I think to the left, if I went straight, would be Kirkbride and I don't, you know, whatever. There's so many, there's maps of Norwich Hospital that will really give you the exact layout of where all the buildings were. There's aerial views and things like that. There's actually a Facebook page, I think, dedicated to Norwich Hospital, so you could probably check that out if you want to see some real details. Yeah, there's a cemetery, Jewish cemetery over here. It's a beautiful cemetery. There it is right there. Norwich Hebrew Benevolent Association. I'm just reading a sign. But that's, I once did a project, a photo project for a gentleman that actually won an Emmy Award for his work. He contacted me and he wanted me to do photographs for a website, which I did do. That was a paid assignment, but it was, you know, when I kind of looked into this guy's background, he won an Emmy Award. I mean, this guy is big time, you know, hardcore New York, super talented dude. I mean, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. All right, there's another view of the Hebrew cemetery. All right, let's get as wide a shot as this camera can pull off. I'm way back. All right, let's Route 12 to your left. What used to be Kettle directly in front of us. As I sweep over, we have what used to be Ribicoff and Lodge building, and in the background, the Mohegan Pequot Bridge. Now it's all gone. I mean, if I covered the entire grounds, if this thing didn't have no trespassing signs and all that stuff laid out all over the place, it would take me probably a couple of hours. I mean, I'm 21 minutes into this video, and I'm barely scratching the surface. The grounds of this hospital were massive. This was basically a small city back in the, I don't know, 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 20s, whatever, way back. It was built in the very early 1900s, but eventually they had a farm, they had cows, pigs, everything under the sun. It was a self-sufficient city, little town. Across the street is some kind of transportation center or something. More, tons and tons and tons of acreage. All right, I'm on Route 12. I want to get off this road as soon as possible, because right now it's quiet, but this car's come whipping down this thing like there's no tomorrow. It's a fence leading into the Hebrew cemetery right there. Bunch of cars and trucks coming my way. There's actually another separate cemetery that is not, there's two more cemeteries, believe it or not. All right, let me pull back a little bit here. Let's see. First Hebrew Society. This is another Jewish cemetery that is technically not associated with the other one. They're different. I don't know the technicalities and the. Let's take a look at this thing. This is another beautiful cemetery, beautifully maintained. But it's not part of the other cemetery. I was told that by that gentleman, that documentarian that won the Emmy Award. They're separate. They have nothing to do with each other, which is, I always thought it was one big cemetery, but he corrected me on that. He gave me the facts. Here's another, what used to be, I mean, it's no longer a road, it's just nothing but a bunch of dirt, but, and this leads down to, if I kept going straight, the road, and I took a left, it would bring me to Seymour Building. Man, hang on a second here, guys. Here's that third cemetery I mentioned, Brewster's Neck Cemetery right there. It's unfortunately needs to be, it's a beautiful old iron gate. This needs to be maintained or mowed. I mean, this grass is 3 feet high. Let me see if I can squeeze a little footage out of this this side over here. What is this building? I think it's Gallop maybe. I think there is a building. For some reason, it hasn't been demolished yet. I'm sure it will be at some point. On the side here, that's what used to be Gallop building. I'm not going to go over there because it's just, I'm just not going to do it. It's self-evident. Okay, I mean, it's all graffiti and windows are all bashed in. And I don't know, the roof is caving in. It's completely and utterly shot. But it used to be a thriving, I worked there a few times, Gallop building. It's a nice building. Another one that was built, I don't know, 20s, 30s. It was an old building, but it was in phenomenal shape. Why was it in phenomenal shape? Because it was maintained continuously over the course of the entire history of this hospital. This hospital had the greatest maintenance crew of all time. I mean, those guys were, they were relentlessly fixing everything whenever it broke. All right, I'm not gonna, you can see, I can't, this thing's blocked off heavily through that fence. To the right would be the Salmon building, I believe, and All building was down there. The old administration building is still standing. We'll take a look at that shortly. Got to head out back towards Route 12. I mean, so far I'm not violating any laws or anything, because there are no trespassing signs all over the place, but as far as I know, I haven't trespassed yet, at least knowingly. Straight ahead across Route 12, if I went straight, there's a road there. You can make it out next to it would be to the right of that little bus, I don't know, little thing that people would sit in to wait for a bus. Straight ahead, you would get down to a beautiful reservoir where staff would take the patients fishing, swimming, picnic area down there. It was beautiful. Again, this was a self-contained city. And at its peak, it thrived, and it was absolutely beautiful. Now, you can just see it's not so beautiful anymore. It's another road, what used to be a road that led to, I'm going to guess, if you went straight ahead, it would bring you to Salmon. Yeah, it would bring you to Salmon building, and there's parking in front of that. Salmon has been closed or it's no longer there. Salmon was probably one of my favorite buildings. Architecturally significant, gorgeous structure. An architecturally significant, gorgeous structure, Salmon and All building that were connected to the administration building that had very steep roofs, very pointy, steep roofs that had slate, the brickwork, and I mean, it was, guys, it was an architectural marvel, and for reasons beyond me, I don't know who makes these decisions, was torn down. Sorry, folks, but that doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's see. This is another, what used to be road. Another fence. All right, so there's, you can see a little bit of the ad building. That tree's blocking, but right to the left, connected to it pretty much, was salmon. Directly in front of me, the tree, the second tree in on the left, you could basically reach out and touch salmon building, and to the right was all AWL building, which is a duplicate of salmon building. I believe salmon was, yeah, I think possible, you know, back in the old days they were called the criminally insane. I remember bars being on the windows and all was female. So salmon was male, all was female. As far as I know, salmon building, male, criminally insane patients, and all female criminally insane. And that's the terminology they used back then. I'm not, you know, I wouldn't use that terminology now. It's just, back in the old days, I mean, that's what they called it. Okay, there's some building, I don't know, generators, power, relays, and, you know, different motors and things in that building. I have no idea. There's a view down Route 12. Speed limit's 35 miles per hour. Take my word for it. People are going faster than 35. There's a beautiful old sidewalk. It's not beautiful now. It's completely shot, but it would have led to that building right there, the beautiful, gorgeous, severely, I don't know, just damaged, neglected, graffitied, old administration building. We used to go in the front door when I first got here, and we'd line up to get our paychecks. No direct deposit, physical paycheck in your hand. This Route 12 is noisy. Okay, now, directly across the street, there were these, I don't know, cottages, and, you know, doctors might have lived there right there. A couple of big ones. Again, refer to the old aerial pictures. The reason I'm hesitating when I talk sometimes is if a car is going by me, it kind of blows out this verbal audio I'm dishing out here. So I may stop and let the car go by and then I can start explaining what I'm seeing. All right, another main road right here, what used to be. Main road to the administration building. Right, this fence is way down, so there it is. There's another shot of that absolutely beautiful, architecturally magnificent, glorious structure. Well, it used to be glorious. I mean, it could be again. Anything can be restored, but I mean, it's painfully obvious that that thing has just been forgotten about. All right, no traffic at all. Walking across Route 12. Right here, I would be pulling into what, when I left the hospital, it was called Pathways Building. And that would be right to the left slightly. I actually have some YouTube video I shot where this thing was being demolished and all that. If you're interested, you can take a look. It's on my YouTube channel. Anyways, this, I would be, let's see, there might be some parking here, but I'm kind of like right here. I'd be the building, I would be inside the building. Another nice building, old building. I worked there many, many times. It was 2 stories. I think there were 2 people to a room, 2 patients to a room. There was a little kitchen. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. If you were a patient there, it was really, really top of the line stuff going on. Entertainment, everything. You name it. Whoa, look at this. We got a view of the reservoir. Can you see that? I hope so. Let's see if I can get this camera so you can get a gander at this beautiful untouched reservoir. I bet there's some fish in there, right? Talk about native, untouched pond that not a lot of people know about right now, except for the former employees of this hospital. All right, so I'm right in the middle of Pathways Building right now. Technically, if it was here, I wouldn't be walking. I would be, well, I might be. I'd probably be walking down one of the hallways right now. Yeah, there's some parking up front. There was, again, tons of parking. The planners, whoever planned all this stuff out, the men and women that did that were geniuses. I mean, it was just incomparable. Perfect. There's another area over here we parked. A lot of the asphalt's been torn out of here, just ripped out. Whoa, gotta be careful around here. Okay, now I'm pointing toward what used to be these really nice cottages. You can see again, if you look up some of the old pictures, but they were real nice. I don't know if there were some programs in there later in the tenure and the lifespan of Norwich Hospital. Let's get a look at Route 12 from up here. That's pretty cool. Doctors may have lived there, different things over the years. Those were really nice, big, a lot of square footage in those cottages. And if you did live there, I'm sure it was, flawlessly maintained like everything else on the grounds. By the way, the lawn of this place, it used to be like the show place. You'd drive down the hill from Norwich or, maybe up from Groton. And whenever you hit Norwich Hospital, the grounds, the grass, the shrubs, everything, it was like a golf course, always. Not anymore. All right. Right there used to be Pathways Building, where we were just walking, or where I was just walking. Sign in front of me, Norwich, Incorporated 1784 Town Line. So right now I'm in Preston, now I'm in Norwich. Here is a path, a sidewalk right down there that used to lead to, it still does, but it's treacherous and overgrown, to the Martin, what used to be the Martin House. Another beautiful building, very similar in construction to Pathways building. Speed limit's 35. Somebody must have jumped out of the car and spray painted 85. It's not too far out of the realm of speeds. If people are driving on this road, I'll tell you right now, they're flying. Nobody's doing 35. Okay, that's one end of Martin House. Windows bashed in, grounds painfully overgrown. There's another sidewalk right there. Again, this place, if you used to work here, you know what I'm talking about. This lawn right here was immaculate. All right, let me get down. Let's do a panoramic sweep of what used to be the Martin House. The Martin House was what it was called when this place closed. This hospital closed. Prior to that, I'm sure it was other buildings. It was named, you know, other names. Things change over the years, different programs and things like that. All right, let's take a look. Man, I'm 43 minutes into this video. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay. Way in the distance there, yeah, you can make it out. That is the employees' residence. Staff members used to live there. I lived there. I think it cost me $16 a month. Comes out of your paycheck, you don't even notice it. Free heat, free utilities. We had cable. I think I actually had to pay for cable. That's fine. I'm not going to go too far back here, but at least it quiets down. There's the side of the building. A lot of graffiti. Well, every single window, I'm looking up and down, every single window is bashed in. I used to walk down here, I used to park down here. A lot of nice people lived in that building. Good friends. All right, I'm not going to play around. I got to get out of here. If I went up there, and it's just pond view is over there. I'm not going to venture over there. It's way overgrown. These are, I don't know, it looks like somebody just dumped stuff, garbage or, you know, whatever, couch, different things. But I got to get out of here. This is parking behind Martin House, straight ahead. Yep. This road here, it doesn't look like much of a road, it's all overgrown, would lead to, again, if I keep going and going, I'll end up doing a 6-hour video. All right, let's see if we can get a glance at Pond View Residence. That was the newer, the building I lived in, the employees' residence, was the older of the two. This is so overgrown, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I'll go around the corner here. If I don't see that building, then I'm out of here. Good grief, this is... I mean, it almost seems like they knocked down the building. Oh, there it is. Right there. All right, let me get up there. Tons of parking. Yep, there it is. This is the back. That's the side back of Pond View. Again, it's all completely and utterly shot, decimated. All right, let me fix the camera on it for a second. There you go. Good look at it. Freeze the frame if you need to. Right there is the back. Over there is the employee's residence. My room is on the far right, first floor. I had air conditioning in there. Cable. Pull out queen size bed. Okay, I mean, it was fantastic. Part of me wants to go over there, but part of me also doesn't, because it's way overgrown and I don't know what I'll run into. All right, let's go to the front of, I gotta get out of here ASAP, but let's go to the front of Pond View. Yeah, Pond View's, again, beautiful. There used to be parties upstairs, big hall up there, big section where you could really have a great time. All right, jeepers creepers. There's some quality, some serious high quality graffiti in there. Yeah, see those windows up there, every one of them's completely bashed in. That's where they used to have the parties and, you know, among other things. I mean, it wasn't just parties. You could go in there, was a nice lounge area you could sit. Yeah, I gotta be real careful. I mean, there's rusty nails and everything's all smashed to pieces. Anyways, there's a view of the front of the building. The doors are, I mean, man, somebody did a job on that thing. They must have came down here with a crowbar and just baseball bat or something, just decided to bash everything into smithereens. Time to get out of here, get back out onto Route 12. All right, let me take the scenic route. All right, so, yeah, I parked here too sometimes. And I would just walk right across. There's a view, another view of Pond View. I'm going to turn around completely, and there is the employee's residence. All staff live there. I remember one time on the side of this building, there was a white-faced hornet's nest. You can't see the side, it's all over ground. A white-faced hornet's nest, and a guy got out of a car. I'm not going to name names here, but if I did, you'd know this guy. And he had a gallon jug of water. It was filled halfway. He took one toss. By the way, there's the main entrance. I'm not going to go over there of my former residence, the employee's residence. This gentleman, employee, threw this half-filled gallon jug of water and hit the white-faced hornet's nest, which was huge, directly. I mean, just boom, dead center, okay? I was sitting in my car watching this. I just happened to pull in at that time. The bees are, hornets, white-faced hornets, very aggressive, burst out of the nest and formed, guys, this is not hyperbole, I am not kidding, it was like a cartoon. And they formed a ball of hornets, like a round, about the size of a basketball. And they were going around and around and around, and they made a beeline and hit this guy right in the head. Okay, this is tons of hornets. There's another look through the woods there. It wasn't woods, it used to be a nice lawn and parking lot, but anyways, this ball hit the guy in the head, ball of hornets. Hang on a minute. Side view of Martin House. Right there. Ball of hornets, white-faced hornets, very dangerous. Hit this guy right in the head, and he, he's waving him away and running as fast as he could. He ran across the parking lot, dove into Pondview. I talked to him later. He didn't get stung a single time. I'm not kidding. All right, back out to Route 12. But anyways, those hornets, man. Oof, those things scared the heck out of me. I mean, just sitting there, I was like, whoa. How am I going to go in the building now? I might get attacked by hornets. Okay, that is, I'm not going to go in here because there's no trespassing signs and it's all overgrown. It's not safe. That's Lipid, what used to be Lipid building. Wow, the slate roof is caving in. I mean, I'm not surprised, but Lipid building was a surgical medical facility on the grounds of Norwich Hospital. They performed lobotomies in there back in the, I don't know, 40s, 50s, whenever lobotomies were considered, a new form of neurosurgery that could help patients, live a better life and improve. I mean, apparently that turned out to be not accurate, but at the time, it was considered kind of a breakthrough in the treatment of the mentally ill. The procedure was banned, but some of the finest surgeons in Connecticut used to come down here, guys, big time, nationally known neurosurgeons, brain surgeons, and they would perform surgery on patients. Not just lobotomies, I mean, you name it, all kinds of surgery. There's a look down. Route 12. There's a look up Route 12. Straight ahead, the employees' residence. Directly in front of us right now, the Martin House. I'm across the street so we can get a wider view. I've done this video before. I have another video, it's very similar to this, but I kind of want to do one every year or two just to, again, see the progress, or in this case, regress of what's going on at Norwich Hospital. I'm walking down a very narrow section of road. All right, there's a better view of Lipid building. The history of Lipid building itself would be a book. The stuff that, you know, the historical, from the time that it was built to the time it closed, all phases of surgical treatment were performed in that building. Okay, I'm in Preston. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in Norwich right now. I'm heading into Preston momentarily. Let's see, Preston named 1689 town line. Now I'm in Norwich. Now I'm in Preston. Another road completely blocked off right there. There's a building way in the background. I'm going to take a guess and say that's Mitchell building. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. I could go over there, but everything's blocked off for a reason. No trespassing signs blanketing the area, so I think, you know, better safe than sorry. I'm going to conclude this video very, very shortly. I'm going to end it on one final decent view of that old administration building. All right, let's see if I can get up to a slightly elevated position to give you a good look at that building. There's a pretty good light on it from the right. I gotta be careful, it's super, the grass is really 3 feet high up here. All right, let's get up here a little bit. We'll end this thing, but I want to get a good view of that building. Let's see, hopefully I'm framing this up with my hand up in the air over a fence so I can't see the screen, but that concludes this tour of Norwich Hospital, August of 2024. It's a Tuesday. What time is it? Let's take a look here. It's 3:20. I didn't trespass. Didn't have to worry about getting arrested. That's always a good thing. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, folks.